Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is April 9th, 2021. We're going to talk about the death of the legendary rapper and actor DMX, who supposedly passed away today from an apparent overdose. So we're going to look at everything. I made a video today that the news broke that he was hospitalized on April 3rd. I made a video that day. I thought he was going to pass. I made a prediction in that video. I thought he was going to pass away on April 5th. But it makes sense why they chose April 9th instead of April 5th. And we'll definitely talk about that. But just want to wait for a few more people to join us. And then I want to play a clip from DMX himself. This is an interview that he did when he was supposed to be in prison. Like around 10, almost, I guess it was like 10 years ago. Well, actually over 10 years ago. This video is from 2009, and I just I want you guys to listen to what he says out of his own mouth, because I know this video is probably gonna get a lot of viewership. So those of you who may be new here, I want you guys to just listen to DMX's own words before you criticize this video. So it looks like nobody's getting notified for this video, which is common. You know, my channel, even though it has 4,000 subscribers, a lot of people don't even get notified when I go live. But let's get started, right? Hopefully you guys notice that I'm live a little later on. Okay, so this is the interview. It was put up on YouTube on January 17, 2009. Not sure when the interview took place, but this is over 10 years ago. DMX was in prison in Arizona when he did this interview. And I'm just going to play like 20 seconds of this clip. And I want you guys to just listen to what DMX says out of his own mouth. And then watch the video, watch the presentation that I'm going to put out. And then you can criticize the video afterwards. But I want you guys just to listen to what DMX says.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the people who are watching this tonight?
Pray for me, because I'll pray for you. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read. And only believe half of what you see. God bless.
Okay, so we're going to play that one more time, because something happened. Okay.
People who are watching.
Okay, here we go.
Leave it at that.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the people who are watching this tonight?
Pray for me, because I'll pray for you. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read. And only believe half of what you see. God bless you.
Okay, so there you go. So what DMX says is obvious. He says, don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe anything that you read. And only believe half of what you see. And even though this stuff, these rappers tell people this, people still don't realize what the rappers are trying to communicate to them. You know, I make so many videos covering celebrity deaths. And time again, every time a new celebrity dies, new people come to the channel and they criticize the work, call it conspiracy theory, says that I'm crazy. And I'm like, you guys are not even fans of the people who you are worshiping. These people tell you in their music, they tell you in their interviews, they are telling you not to believe nothing that you read or hear in the mainstream media, because they know most of it's all a lie. Most of it. Probably 99% of it. And even when these rappers tell you themselves, you guys still don't believe any of the things we say in these videos. You know, what I do in my channel, I don't really give out my opinion. Very rarely do I give out my opinion. Everything that I present is fact-based. Everything. Everything that I show, you can verify on your own. When I talk about gematria, that is something that you can research on your own. It's not something that I made up. There's books on gematria. This is a real practice. And this is really used every single day in the mainstream media. It's used to script the careers of these rappers, and it's also used to murder them. And we show this all the times, time and time again, where rappers, entertainers, actors, basketball players, etc. I wrote a book around probably almost a month ago now, and it only sold 37 copies on Etsy, which is bad because this book is filled with knowledge. More people should have this book. This book is only $5. This book has, I covered around 13 of the most memorable deaths in 2020. That includes Kobe Bryant, the rapper Pop Smoke, the rapper Mo 3, the rapper King Von. All of these rappers, they were all ritualistically murdered by the code of gematria. And that includes Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna Bryant. And I covered this in this book, and notice only 37 people bought it, even though I priced it at $5. I don't get it. This information, there's nothing more valuable in this information, because a lot of you are still believing in the mainstream media. A lot of you are still going to go and get vaccinated because you guys believe in this coronavirus. Even when we try to put the information out there, even when these celebrities tell you themselves, people still don't believe it. It's just amazing. It's almost like you guys are hypnotized. But if you guys saw the video that I did on April 3rd, the day that this news came out that DMX was in grave condition after overdosing to some apparent drugs, I made a video and I made a prediction in that video. I thought he was going to die on April 5th. But I was, 5 days off? You know, when I make these prediction videos, I'm not just going with my opinion. Like I said, I don't do anything based on opinion. It's all facts, fact-based, and everything can be verified. And I use this code to make my predictions. And sometimes we are going to be wrong because, you know, again, we are not in these secret societies. We don't know every single thing about these rituals. We don't know what numbers they're going to pay tribute to on what specific day. On the day that the news came out that he was hospitalized, it was obvious that they was paying tribute to the number 48, because on April 3rd of this year, that was the day with 48 numerology, and we was getting news about Earl Simmons. That's DMX's real name, Earl Simmons. In gematria, Earl Simmons sums to 48. And in case you guys are new here, at the end of the video, I'm going to explain to you guys how these 4 ciphers work. You know, like I said, in my book, I have a chapter, an entire chapter, breaking down how the gematria language works. It's simple stuff. It's the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. That's all it is. I have an entire chapter showing how this stuff works. And for $5, you can learn it in a matter of seconds. But on April 3rd, right, we got the news that Earl Simmons is hospitalized, a guy whose name sums to 48, right? Also showed how, just refresh this because this is okay. I didn't have this up here in the last video, but I put it up today. We was hearing the news on April 3rd. That's a day that's written 4/3, like 43. We was hearing about his addiction problem. Yeah, he overdosed. Something that he supposedly struggled with his whole career, supposedly his addiction. And I want you guys just to understand that, you know, now that I'm reviewing this case, I think all this stuff is a lie. I think DMX has probably never done drugs. And I definitely don't think he's even dead, which I'll explain to you guys in the middle of the video. And the way I'm able to determine this stuff is with the numbers. You know, even though it seems like that's my opinion, it's almost like it's not my opinion, because I'm using information to make that assumption. I really think that they use these rappers, especially these black rappers, in a way to shame the race, the black race. And I know a lot of you may think that this is just, you know, another racial, the white man this, the white man that. No, this is not another racial video. This is something that we've been documenting for a long time now, for almost going on 3 years. Black people, they love to shame black people around the same numbers. They use the number 42 to shame black people. And this is not just exclusive with DMX. This has been going on all the time, right? The N word, the most racist term that you can use against a black person is obviously the N word, and it sums to 42. I think about Jackie Robinson, the first black baseball player who died at the age of 42. Right, his name Jackie sums to 42, and there's so much more to 42. You know, the term slavery sums to 42. Just like Simmons, right? DMX's surname, Simmons, is 42. And if you read the report, it said that on April 2nd, he overdosed. On April 2nd, not April 3rd. You know, he got hospitalized on April 3rd for his addiction, his overdose. But the overdose occurred on April 2nd, on 4/2. The guy whose name is Simmons. And just notice the gematria of Simmons and slavery is perfect in all 4 ciphers. So the guy has the perfect name to be shamed ritualistically by the numbers. 42, right? So think about Black History Month with what happened, which is February, right? February is Black History Month. The shortest month of the year, by the way. February is a month that sums to 42 as well. Just like Martin, Malcolm X, so many others, right? LeBron James, his name sums to 42. And this is an actual fact. If you look up what is LeBron James' biggest loss of his career, he lost to the Pacers by 42 points. You can look that up. That is a fact. If you measure from Anthony Davis just teamed up with LeBron James. What was it, last season? Anthony Davis was born on March 11th, exactly 42 weeks before LeBron James' birthday. LeBron James was born on December 30th. You measure from March 11th to December 30th, it's a span of 42 weeks. It's amazing how they do it, but they always use these same numbers to shame black people. I can go on and on about the number 42, but I just want to, I have a lot to cover. So, if you read my book, if you research the number 42, actually this sweatshirt that I have on, in the back of this sweatshirt, I have all the words that equate to 42 in gematria that have to do with black people. Like words like bigotry. This is a sweatshirt that I wear when I go outside. So, people see the big N-word in my back and say, hey, why you have that N-word in your back? And why you have the number 42 next to it? And then, that creates conversation. And then I could teach them. Well, it's because the number 42 is a number that they love to use to shame black people. And they do it all the time. Bigotry sums to 42. Late last year, Chadwick Boseman, the actor, he died at the age of 42. And then they changed his date of birth. They changed his age to 43. But we documented that he was 42 years old at the time of his passing. Actually, I can show you real quick. But he died on Jackie Robinson Day. And he was in a film titled 42. Think about it. He played as Jackie Robinson in the film. And then he dies on Jackie Robinson Day at the age of 42. I mean, this, like I said, this stuff goes on all the time. It's not just with DMX, it's with a lot of these celebrities. And there's always the same numbers. See this 59s here? We're going to talk about that same number in the DMX presentation. But this is the film that Chadwick Boseman was in, right? The name of the film was 42, The Jackie Robinson Story. And then he passes away on Jackie Robinson Day. And then he had an Instagram post, Operation 42, his nice 42. And I'll guarantee you, he's not the one putting his hat on. It's the Catholic Church, the Jesuits telling him, listen, put this hat on, be in this movie, etc., etc. You're going to die on this day. Because these actors, they don't control anything. They don't control anything about their careers. Not even the day that they die. But I just want to show you how old this guy was, right? So you notice it says he was born November 29th, 1977. He was 42 years old when he passed away. Moments after his death, they changed his date of birth to November 29th, 1976. But thankfully, I took this screenshot just to show people that he was really 42 years old. The guy who played in the movie 42 and died on Jackie Robinson Day. And he played as Jackie Robinson in that movie. Check out that video if you want to learn more about Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman is also in my book. But back to DMX. So The day he died was on. It was the day, but the day he was hospitalized was April 3rd, 4-3. Jesus Christ, Psalms 43. And if you read the Bible, there was 42 generations to Jesus Christ. 42 again. And the reason I think they use the number 42 with black people is because if you read the Bible, it seems like Jesus was black. I mean, just look at the description of Jesus Christ in the Bible. Dark skin, hair of wool. That seems like a black person to me. So, and the way they use these numbers against black people, because they very rarely do we see, because the thing is, white people also get ritualistically murdered by the same code, but you rarely see these same numbers when it comes to white actors and white celebrities. They have their separate kind of numbers, which is just amazing how the point is, because this stuff is really like, it's really disturbing. Because how is it that these people get away with this stuff? Not only are they shaming the race, but they're also murdering people, and they're making everybody. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's stuff is sick. Because think about what they do to white people, right? They make them seem like they're bombers. They shoot up schools. That's wrong. That's wrong what they do to white, and it's wrong what they do to blacks. It's just crazy, and nobody seems to be noticing any of it. Because even though we put the information out there, nobody researches it. Everybody flags the video. Everybody puts a thumbs down. Everybody leaves negative comments. And I'm like, even when people are trying to tell you what's going on, none of you want to listen. They don't care about white and they don't care about blacks. All they care about is themselves being in power. And they don't want us to unite. They don't want us to be one. They want us to be divided. And that's what all this stuff boils down to. They want people of color to be looked at as drug addicts. They want white people to be looked at as, church bombers or movie theater shooters, active shooters. Think about it. All the time, an active shooter is always a white man. Most of the time. Right? What are rappers? Most of the time, they either get shot and killed. They're gangsters. They're drug addicts. They're women beaters. The same thing all the time. The same thing, and all of it's a lie at the end of the day. But a lot of people are not realizing it because they're worshiping these rappers because they love their music, not knowing that these people sold out to the church. These people sold out. And it's not only DMX, it's the Notorious B.I.G., it's Tupac Shakur, it's all these other rappers who die by the same code. It's all of them. They don't care about you, they don't care about me. They care about themselves, having money, selling millions of copies of their albums. That's all they care about. They don't care about what they're doing to the culture. Because at the end of the day, they look at us like we're too dumb to realize this. Why should they care? Even when DMX says in the interview, don't believe everything you hear, don't believe everything you read, and only believe half of what you see. Even when they tell you in the interview, it still goes over people's heads. And this is why I guess they don't feel like helping us, because we can't even help each other. But the number 43 also connects to Masonic, to killing. Right, Jesus is also 34. Right, April 3rd could be written 3-4 like 34. Rappers 34. Murders 34. Remember Pop Smoke, who supposedly died in Beverly Hills last year? His name sums to 34. So many rappers have the 38 and 34 connection. Right, look, notice Pop Smoke is 38 and 34. It's also 106. And the day that DMX was hospitalized, it was 106 days after his birthday. Funny how Pop Smoke is 106. But Pop Smoke is 38 and 34. Notice King Von, another rapper who was murdered last year. His name sums to 38 and 34. And I spoke about King Von in my book. King Von, man, there's so many things I can just, because this stuff is so repetitive. They do the same thing all the time. Show you something about his album cover. So King Von put on an album called LeVon James, and in all his songs he tells people, Check the score in all his records. Look at the score. Look at the score. Look at the score. And yet people are not looking at the score. If you notice up here, the score is the home team has 24 points and the away team has 6. The day King Von put out this album, I believe it was March 6th. He died exactly 246 days after the release of this album. Just want to make sure he put it out on March 6th. So let's see, LeBron James. Yeah, so March 6th. From March 6th to the day he died, on the 311th day of the year, the 64th prime, the guy who's from 64th Street. From March 6th to the day he died, 246 days. Like how the scoreboard was 24-6. He's telling people in all his songs, check the score. Check the score. 24-6. Because he was going to die 246 after the release of this album. But nobody's paying attention. Everybody's busy criticizing my videos and calling this a conspiracy. So you guys you're telling me that DMX is a conspiracy theorist when he's telling people not to believe what you hear and what you read. So DMX is also a conspiracy theorist. But niggers 42, slavery is 42, February is 42, Martin's 42, Malcolm X is 42, Tyson is 42, LeBron James is 42, Dwayne Wade is 42. So many black celebrities, they have the 42 connection. April 3rd, that was the 93rd day of the year. Crucifix Thompson 93. Earl Simmons Thompson 48, like we said, and that was a day with 48 numerology. Crucifix is also 48 as well. So Crucifix is 93 and 48. And we get a story that Earl Simmons on the 93rd day of the year is hospitalized for an apparent overdose. And that was on Good Friday. Good Friday is 59. Remember, I told you we were going to talk about this number. Same number that showed up with the Chadwick Boseman. He died from colon cancer. Colon cancer, Thompson 59. That was Chadwick Boseman who died from colon cancer. Negro, slave, Jigaboo, Rasta Blues, they all sum to 59. Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. This is another number that they use against black people in a negative way. 42 and 59. All the time. Same thing. And my belief is the reason they use those two numbers is, if you notice the word, the N-word, I want to show you guys something about the N-word. It's actually the ER word. If you notice the N-word, it starts with a 59 and it ends with a 59. And then that word sums to 42. So 42 and 59 numbers stamped on black people, right? Negro and slave, right? And slavery is 42, and nigger is 42, and Negro is 59. This is a big indicator right here. So LL Cool J decides to tweet this on April 3rd. He wrote, "Today is 4/3/21. It's only right that we celebrate the talent and genius of my brother DMX on the 4/3/21 song. We love you, X. Get well fast." So look. So LL Cool J, he had a song with DMX titled 4/3/21. And on April 3rd in the year 21, we get the news that he is hospitalized for apparent overdose. I mean, what are the odds of that? Oh my gosh. So look, 4/3/21 is a song by Queens rapper LL Cool J featuring Method Man of Wu-Tang Clan, Redman, Cannabis, and DMX. And it was on LL Cool J's 7th album. Like how DMX died 7 days after being hospitalized. And the name of the album was Phenomenon. And this was the second single of that album. 4/3/21. And on April 3rd in the year 21, Mr. DMX was hospitalized from an apparent overdose. Wow. Amazing stuff, right? But notice this. So LL Cool J, he was born January 14th. And the overdose happened 79 days after his birthday on April 3rd. And LL Cool J is 79 in gematria. DMX also has a 79 connection through gematria in the Frank Baconis cipher. And notice what 79 connects to. It connects to murder. And it also connects to vegetable. And on the date of this tweet, we got the news that DMX was in a vegetative state 79 days after LL Cool J's birthday, who tweeted out about the song 4321. And notice what else is 79. The people responsible for all this. The Jesuits. Today is the 86th day of LL Cool J's age. The 86th day of his age. And notice Dogman X is 86. Blood Sacrifice is 86. So DMX gets 86 days after LL Cool J's birthday. After being in that song 4321 with him. And that goes to show you that, you know, these celebrities, these rappers, they're not even naming the name of their songs. It's the Jesuits naming the name of their songs. Because the Jesuits are telling them, name your song 4321. Because on April 3rd and 21, Mr. DMX is going to be in the hospital with us. That's what they're telling these rappers. It's obvious. Oh, my goodness. So that's what happened on April 3rd, right? So today, actually before we talk about his death, this came out on April 7th. That supposedly he tested positive for coronavirus. DMX, the guy who overdosed. It's funny because he had a performance with a mask on. This was years ago. Called predictive programming. Why would he perform with a mask on? The guy who's supposed to be at coronavirus right before he died. But if you guys remember, the pandemic was declared on March 11th of last year. This news came out on April 7th, which was 56 weeks after the pandemic was declared here in the U.S. And of course, that number connects to coronavirus. Coronavirus equals 56, just like the people responsible. And notice, rapper 74, and this news came out on April 7th. A day you could write out 7/4 like 74. So many things connect to 74 as well. I mean, just look at the list, right? So going back to Jesus, right? Jesus is 74, Jesus Christ is 74, cross, parables. The word killing is also 74. And all these other terms. Masonic Messiah, right? Jesus is known as the Messiah. Occult, gospel, Tupac, Machiavelli, who also died by the numbers as well. I put out a video on Tupac and Biggie's death. It should be up on my channel if you guys want to see it. They also went out by the numbers. The same numbers that I'm discussing in this video, same numbers I discussed in that video. It's the same thing all the time. They use these same numbers all the time. The name of this code is Simple English Gematria. Each word sums to 74 in Gematria. Each word. Simple, English, and Gematria. All three individually sum to 74. This is a special number. So this is why we got this news on April 7th. 56 weeks after the pandemic, that Mr. DMX had coronavirus. So not only did he suffer a heart attack, but he also died from the virus that all you guys believe in. The guy who performed with a mask on. So his death was announced today on April 9th. And being that this stuff is all biblical, all connected to the Bible, I also want to show you guys a photograph of DMX. He has a tattoo with the words Exodus 1:7, which is a biblical verse. We're going to talk about that in a second. Because this code is all biblical because it's the Catholic Church behind these rituals. Revelation sums to 49, and that is today's date, April 9th. So on April 9th, we get the announcement that Mr. DMX is dead by the numbers. Well, we get the announcement that he is dead from an apparent overdose. But you guys notice that it's not that. There's just something else going on. Something called ritual prophecy. He died on the 99th day of the year. The 99th day of the year. And think about it. He overdosed on 4/2, the number stamped on black people in a negative way. And the term racism sums to 99. And this is a number that I spoke about when George Floyd, and just think about it, he died during the George Floyd trial. When I made my George Floyd video, that's when my first channel got deleted because I was talking about these same patterns. George Floyd died in connection to the number 99 as well. And remember, George Floyd was infamous for saying, "I can't breathe," right before he was murdered by the police, supposedly. But supposedly, according to the trial, George Floyd died because of coronavirus. Same bullshit they're saying with DMX. But this photograph here, this is Eric Garner. This picture here is what really woke me up, because I'm like, why is this police officer wearing this big 99 on his back? What is the meaning of that number? Big yellow 99 on his back, right? As he's killing Mr. Eric Garner. I had no idea what the number 99 meant. But then I came across a blogger talking about this code, and I said, you know what? This makes sense, because his name Garner's 99 and racism is 99. And this was a big racial story. And Mr. George Floyd, he died in front of a supermarket called Cup Foods with something 99. I'm like, oh my God, this is what they're doing. They're murdering people in connection to these numbers. And of course, 99 connects to the United States of America. And after these events, after the Eric Garner killing, after the George Floyd killing, we get these big racial, I guess, wars across the nation. Everybody protesting, breaking stuff, stealing, destroying their own neighborhoods. America turned upside down because of these stories, which are all contrived stories. I guarantee you, Eric Garner, George Floyd, and DMX are probably all alive. But Mr. Eric Garner, he died in Tompkinsville, Staten Island, with something 99 as well, like his name Garner. Racism is also 99. And think about how Jay-Z has a song called 99 Problems. And in that song, he talks about his encounters with the police. These are the lyrics from Jay-Z. He says, the year is 94 and my trunk is raw, and my rearview mirror is the motherfucking law. Got two choices, y'all. Pull over the car or bounce on the devil, put the metal to the floor. I ain't trying to see no highway chase with Jake. Plus, I got a few dollars. I can fight the case. So I pull over to the side of the road. I heard, son, do you know what I'm stopping you for? Because I'm young and I'm black and my hat's real low. Do I look like a mind reader, sir? I don't know. Am I under arrest or should I get some more? Well, you was doing 55 in the 54. Jesuit order is also 54. License and registration and step out of the car. Are you carrying a weapon? I know a lot of you are. Which is a racial, how racist is that? You know, I know a lot of you are. What does that even mean? But the point of this record is just to show you that, you know, Jay-Z's having an encounter with the police similar to Eric Garner and George Floyd, who both died in connection to the number 99. Jay-Z says he has 99 problems and the bitch ain't one, right? What is his 99 problem? What is racism? Because the police officer stopping him. I mean, he was doing 55 in the 54. He wasn't doing anything wrong, supposedly, according to Jay-Z. So why is he being stopped? He's being stopped because of his skin color, according to Jay-Z. But this is what they want to promote. They want to promote racism. They want to make it seem like there is such thing as racism. And there isn't. But as long as they continue to create these stories, people are still going to believe in racism. Racism is going to remain alive as long as these rituals are going on, where black celebrities with millions of dollars are overdosing. They can't control themselves because of. I mean, if you just listen to DMX's songs, he talks about drugs all throughout his career. Same thing they do with R. Kelly. Listen to R. Kelly songs. They labeled R. Kelly as a pedophile, as a child molester. All his songs have to do with that. There's a song called "Seems Like You're Ready," and then he supposedly was in a videotape with a 14-year-old. Seems like you're ready. Isn't that like a pedophile type term? Seems like you're ready. But the point is they use these celebrities and then their whole careers, the songs that they put out, it's kind of like foretelling their death. DMX has a song called "Slipping." He says, "I'm slipping and I'm falling and I can't get up." And in that song, he's in a stretcher, fighting for his life. That song came out years ago. So 99 is a big number with racism. It shows up all the time, and then DMX dies while the George Floyd trial is going on. How perfect. So DMX, he was 50 years old. His hospitalization came 106 days after his birthday, like we mentioned. I Can't Breathe is 106. Something that Eric Garner and George Floyd both said before they died. Black is also 106. Black Power is also 106. Remember the TV show 106 in Park? A black TV show showing these same celebrities. 106 in Park. But his death came on his 113th day of his age. Overdose, some still 113. You know, the reason I thought he was going to die on April 5th is because heart attack, some still 108. But they didn't use the 108, they used the 113. Because I think they were trying to communicate to us that all this stuff is fake. All this stuff is a lie. Because that number connects to bullshit. It connects to mainstream. It connects to fiction. It connects to not true, green screen, disinfo, perjury, not factual, fake reality. The term puppets, not honest, all equate to 113 in gematria. This man is supposed to be dead on his 113th day of his age. And notice DMX is 41 and 40, just like Overdose. 41 and 40. So the perfect cause of death for Mr. DMX. And then he died in White Plains, New York with something 94 on April 9th on 9/4. But I looked at his history, his albums. He had 8 studio albums. The Great Depression. I mean, just look at the titles of these records. They're telling you a story. It's dark and hell is hot. And what's interesting about his first album is that it equates to 83. And he died 33 days before the 23-year anniversary, and 83 is the 23rd prime. 33, a number associated with the Masons. And I want you guys to just notice this verse. And I think the record is, I forgot what song this is from. I should have wrote it down. But I guess you can Google it on your own. This is the second verse of this song. It says, I sold my soul to the devil. And this is what I was saying in the beginning of the video. Even when these rappers tell you, you guys still don't believe it. They're telling you themselves. I'm just repeating what they're saying. I sold my soul to the devil and the price was cheap. And yo, it's cold on his level because it's twice as deep. I mean, that one sentence has so much meaning. But you don't hear me. Ignorance is bliss, and so on. Sometimes it's better to be thought dumb. Shall I go on? Yo, on the real, what's the deal? Is it a mystery? How is it I can live and make history? If you don't see it, then it wasn't meant for you to see. But if you wasn't born with it, it wasn't meant for you to be. But you can't blame me for not wanting to be held, locked down in a cell where a soul can't dwell. This is hell. Go get the devil and give me the key. This is making a lot of sense to me. You know, DMX is telling you guys a lot in this record. But it can't be worse because the curse that was given to me, but it's what I live for. You take away that you take away that and I'm gone. There's a difference between doing wrong and being wrong. And that ain't right. Just keep it fair, baby. Put it in the air and I'll take it there, baby. Yes. Yeah, he's letting people know a lot in this record. I sold my soul to the devil and the price was cheap. And yo, it's cold on his level because it's twice as deep. But you don't hear me. Ignorance is bliss and so on. Sometimes it's better to be thought dumb. Shall I go on? Yo, on the real, what's the deal? Is it a mystery? How is it I can live and make history? Yeah, that's deep. If you don't see it, then it wasn't meant for you to see. I guess, that's why I got to stop forcing this information on people. DMX said it right there. If you don't see this, then it wasn't meant for you to see it. If you wasn't born with it, it wasn't meant for you to be. But you can't blame me for not wanting to be held, locked down in a cell where my soul can't dwell. This is hell. Go get the devil and give me the key. but it can't be worse than the curse that was given to me. It's what I live for. You take away that and I'm gone. There's a difference between doing wrong and being wrong. And that ain't right. Just keep it fair, baby. Put it in the air and I'll take it there, baby. Yeah, this is deep. But I like this sentence right here. But you don't hear me. Ignorance is bliss, and so on. So right on, DMX. You try telling people. And you know what I think he's also trying to let people know is that he can't tell people directly. He's trapped. But if we do something about it, then we can give him the key and he can escape. But, he can't do nothing on his own. But he's telling people like, how can I live? Oh my God, he's saying so much things in his record. It's almost like he's crying for help. Basically, that's what I get out of it. Because he's telling people, the first thing he says is, I sold my soul to the devil. So he sold his soul. So there's nothing that he could do about it now. All he could do is try to warn us, and we can probably make an effort to try to save him. But the only way that's going to happen is if people wake up. But he's also saying that, if you don't see this, then it really wasn't meant for you to see it. Because I'm telling you all the answers. But, if you can't see it, it's because you're not capable of seeing it. You wasn't born with it. Another memorable song that DMX is remembered for is Rough Riders Anthem, which sums to 201 and 84, just like the Jesuit order. Rough Riders Anthem. So every time you guys sing that song, you're paying praises to the Jesuits. DMX had a lot of films. I want to talk about his first film, Belly, because not only does it sum to 56 and 79 like the Society of Jesus, there's a scene in this film where he sold his soul. I don't know if he sold his soul, but in that film, because I haven't seen it in a while, he on the end of the movie, he goes into this church, right? I will have to see the movie again, but he walks into a church, and I guess he says something in that. Damn, I forgot what he said, but he says something in the end of that movie when he walks into the church. He says like, I'm giving myself up to the church, something like that. It's funny how the name of the movie sums to the Society of Jesus, the Catholic Church. I'm going to have to rewatch the movie Belly. I haven't seen it in a while. It came out in the late 90s, so I saw it when I was a young kid. But, yeah, all these records, all these albums, all these movies that these celebrities do and make during their careers, they're all foretelling their death. They're telling you a story. And notice the other main character in that film was Mr. Nas, who's 47 years old, right? On 4/7, we got the news that Mr. DMX had coronavirus. But Nas was born on 14/9, like 149. Revelation is also 149. And the day that Mr. DMX was hospitalized, that was 201 days after Nas's birthday, the number that connects back to the Jesuit order, right? Remember Rough Riders Anthem is 201? George Perry Floyd is also 201. It was, remember Event 201, the coronavirus simulation. DMX supposedly had coronavirus just like George Floyd. DMX died 158 days before Nas's 49th birthday, right? Revelation is also, actually before his 48th birthday. Earl Simmons is 48. Freemasonry sums to 158. On July 23rd, DMX performed with Snoop Dogg. And just think about these two legendary rappers, right? And this is no disrespect to either of them. But just think about what they've done with these two celebrities. They made them drug addicts, both of them. And probably out of their own will. DMX is depicted as this fiend, as this drug fiend. And then Snoop Dogg is also kind of a drug fiend because he's known for smoking a lot of weed. These are the titles that they give black people. Just imagine how many people DMX or Snoop Dogg influenced into drugs. Just think about it. How many of these fans, how many of their fans were influenced by them? Millions. Probably people who probably don't even like to smoke weed probably started smoking weed because of Snoop Dogg. But notice what Snoop Dogg sums to in gematria. It sums to 49. What's going on with my slide? Snoop Dogg sums to 49, and he's 49 years old, and then DMX dies on 4/9. The number that connects to Revelation. Snoop Dogg is 49 years old. And of course, they had this versus battle right before his death, right? I want to measure how many days it's been since that battle. It happened on July 23rd. So today is 260 days since the battle. It took place on the day with 34 numerology, right? And 50 numerology. He died at 50. Coronavirus is also 70. Speaking of 54, today is the day with 54 numerology. The Jesuit order is 54. And racism is 99. But I don't see anything with the 260. That's why, it was making a lot of sense April 5th, because April 5th would have been 257 days after this versus battle, the blood sacrifice number. But they took him out a little bit later on, April 9th. So Snoop Dogg is 49. DMX dies while Snoop Dogg is 49 years old. So let's see. Did we cover everything? We covered a lot. There's probably a lot more to this too, because the guy, he's a legendary rapper. He's not just anybody. But we covered his coronavirus story, the 99 connection. Oh yes, the tattoo, right? So he has his tattoo, Exodus 1:7, which is a biblical verse. Let's just go to the biblical verse here. It says, Exodus 1:7. But the people of Israel were fruitful and increased greatly. They multiplied and grew exceedingly strong, so that the land was filled with them. I wonder if these people are going to Israel. All these rappers who fake their deaths. Because I remember Nipsey Hussle was also talking about Israel in one of his songs. And then, DMX has his tattoo. The Bible verse is talking about the people of Israel increased greatly. I wonder. But so if you guys want to read more, if you guys are new here, you got to learn more about this stuff. See how repetitive it is. See how it connects to other rappers, other celebrities in past history. I put out a book. It's only $5. I always leave a link in the comment section of every video. I guarantee you, once you read the first chapter, you're gonna learn how to do this. This stuff it's really simple stuff. There's a website called gematrianator.com. It's free to use. And there's 4 base ciphers in gematria. So you have the alphabetic order where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, A through Z, 1 through 26. And then you have the cipher where you convert all the double-digit letters into single-digit numbers. So, for example, J is the 10th letter. 10 is a double-digit number. The way you convert it into a single digit is by adding 1 plus 0. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So J becomes 1 in the cipher. You do that to every single letter. You compress it into a single-digit number. And then these 2 ciphers, you flip the alphabetic order in reverse. Here you make A 26 and then Z 1. Here A is actually 8 because A is 26 and 2 plus 6 is 8. The other side of this is date span and date numerology. So you want to measure how many days from a specific event or from somebody's birthday, and that number usually tells a story as well. The date numerology as well. Like we saw in this case, there's death happening on the 99th day of the year. The number that connects to racism. A black man overdosing. Another stereotype. Let's see. I guess we got through everything. I want to talk a little bit about Jay-Z's song 99 Problems. I know we covered the lyrics. We covered the 99. But this song had a lot to do with George Floyd. Notice the song was released on April 27, 2004. George Floyd was killed on May 25th. And DMX's death has a lot to do with George Floyd, because not only did DMX get hospitalized 106 days after his birthday, which is the number that connects to George Floyd, but he died during the trial. But the song 99 Problems came out 839 weeks before the death of George Floyd, and that's the 146th prime number. And George Floyd was murdered on the 146th day of the year, on May 25th. And remember, it had a lot to do with the kneeling, right? Colin Kaepernick known for kneeling. Not Colin Kaepernick is 146. There's something else with 146 that I haven't figured out yet, because they do use that number a lot when these racial stories. I think that's also Donald Trump's birthday, 14/6. Let me see. Yeah, that is Donald Trump's birthday, 14/6. Yep. So, and George Floyd died 173 days after Jay-Z's birthday, and Black Lives Matter's 173. And it was also 193 days before his upcoming birthday, and that's the 44th prime number that connects to African Americans. Also, this is important. You know, Jay-Z's birthday is on the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity's birthday, December 4th, 1906. Stuff is really deep. This is deep. This stuff is deep, deep, deep. What are the odds of all this? And then, you know, this picture here, Jay-Z pointing to the mind, just to let people know that he knows, he's in the know. Right? All this is symbolism. You see a lot of people doing this. There's a lot of Malcolm X photographs of him posting like this. If you ever seen Michael Jordan's photographs with the 6 rings, he's going like this. This is to let people know that they're in the know. Symbolism. It's beyond letters and numbers. It's also, you know, they do a lot of things with their fingers as well. A lot of hand symbols that you got to learn to really notice what's going on and who's behind all this stuff. You know, it's the same people. Let me just show you guys some Malcolm X photographs. Let's see. See it right here? So I think this is his most popular photograph. Who else does it? I think Michael Jordan. I've seen a Michael Jordan picture. It's a lot of celebrities that do this. But I won't be able to show you all of them. Here it is. This is the most popular one with the rings. The finger to the mind. These players are all puppets on strings. They know what's going on. They know it's all rigged. They know it's all a big lie, all of deception. The guy performs with a mask on. Why would he do that? This reminds me of the Batman movie as well. He calls himself Darkman X. Sick. So yeah, so I think I covered most of the things in this video. But yeah, so if anybody, I'm gonna open up the phone lines if anybody wants to call in. Otherwise, actually, yeah, I'll take some calls. So the number's on the screen now, in case you guys want to call in. And I think we're gonna close it out with. Actually, no. If anybody wants to call in, the number's on the screen. I think we can close it out with a couple of calls and then we can end it there. I appreciate that, Cherry Tomb. Yeah, so somebody said they just got the notification. Yeah, it's like I knew that was gonna happen. But yeah. So nobody wants to call in. I guess we can end it there. Somebody says that Rough Rider sums to 59 as well. Okay, so we got a caller. So let's see. Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Author.
How you
Nice
doing?
talking to you. Question: does the death of what is it, the Prince?
Yes, I did see that. I didn't do no work on it though.
Is it connected? Do you think that it's connected to DMX?
It's probably most likely, most likely. But I haven't looked at it, so I won't be able to tell you the numbers behind it.
Okay, okay. So, all right. I was just calling the live, hoping that information would have been connected. Okay, so I'll look out for that video. Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Well, now that I'm seeing it, Prince Philip, dead at 99. Come on. He died on the 99th day of the year. Oh my goodness. Dead at 99 on the 99th day of the year. Oh boy. How can, I mean, just that by itself? How can you explain that to somebody and they'll be like, "Oh, that's just coincidence. I don't know." So what? So what? Dead at 99 on the 99th day of the year. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I'll look at this later on. I'll probably make a blog post. I don't know if I'll make a video about it. I probably will. I'll do it. That's because the caller asked me to do it. So yeah, I'll definitely look at this a little later on. Yeah, so the perfect day to die, the 99th day of the year. Somebody says today's Little Nas's birthday. Little Nas X. Oh yeah, his 22nd birthday. The guy that's been in the news for his Satan shoes. Montero. I mean, all this stuff is connected. I mean, just look at that. How the guy dies on Little Nas's birthday. Little Nas has been in the news all this week about these fake Satan shoes that supposedly have human blood in them. Yeah, his name's something to 60 like the N-word. Montero. Satan shoes is 121 like blood sacrifice and Revelation. Yeah, I think I covered this. I think Revelation is also 149. Yeah, this was a big Revelation ritual. Little Nas born on April 9th. 4-9 like Revelation. Yeah. So Philip dead at 99 on the 99th day of the year. Somebody says that Prince Philip equals 63. He died 63 days before his birthday. Yeah. I was off a little bit. I said April 5th. He died on April 9th. I was 4 days off. I mean, I knew it was coming though, because it's the same patterns. Somebody said that I'm making these videos because I'm wishing death on these people. No, I'm not. I'm just showing you a pattern that happens all the time. And once it happened, I should have knew they was gonna do it April 9th because it was a big Revelation ritual. Same thing they did with Little Nas X. But I guess we've been going on for almost an hour. I guess we can end it there. Pick up my book. It's only $5. Show some support. Read it. You're gonna learn a lot because it took me a long time to write, and it's well written, and you're gonna like it. There's I covered a lot of people in there, a lot of important people. A lot of people are not leaving any reviews. Probably there's only 37 people, but we did get this one review from a person named Mickey155. He wrote, very important information that Authur is spreading because it's pretty short. It's easy to hand out to those interested in the topic. My friend wanted to read it immediately because of those two things. The most mind-blowing chapter is no doubt about the one about Kobe Bryant and how he allegedly was ritualistically sacrificed. I don't think it's possible for anyone to deny the numbers around his life and alleged death. I think a lot of more people within the gematria community should buy it. It's really worth it, and it's really very cheap. If Author releases it in a physical format, I'll definitely buy it because I like that better than the electronic format. The reason I didn't release it as a physical format is because that's very expensive, and unless I see that enough people are gonna back the book up, I don't know if I want to make that big of an investment. I don't want to be stuck with a bunch of books catching dust in my living room, you know. So if I don't see a big market for it, this is why I only put it out electronically. And I was right. Look, only 37 people purchased it. And thank you for this comment. You know, I wish more people would leave a comment. And yeah, so he recommends it. You know, it's always better to hear it from other people because I'm always gonna promote it the right way, and I'm never gonna. Usually, you don't really see authors say anything negative about their work. I don't think there's anything negative about that book that I wrote. Hopefully, you guys all enjoy it. Hopefully, thank you to the people who already purchased a copy. I really appreciate that. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot from it because it definitely is one of my best works. But thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. And rest in peace to DMX. If he is dead, this is unfortunate. It's unfortunate for his family that these people have to go through this. And unless we all wake up, this stuff is going to continue to go on. It has continued to go on. Even with the amount of people that are supposed to be awake. Because even the people who are awake, we also have to do something more than just say that we are awake. We have to make a change. But we are not, there's not enough of us, I'll tell you that much. So for right now, we have to continue to spread the word so we can build our numbers. But thanks everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learn from it. And hopefully you guys will share the work. But you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you, everybody.